introduction. So welcome everyone, all of you who are watching from whichever platform of your preference. Welcome to this webinar on Need for a Tech MBA. Really happy that you were able to give some time to us on a weekend evening. So we're really glad about it. So Need for a Tech MBA. What this really means is what is the need of having an MBA which is technologically rich? So skills such as analytics and digital. Why are these skill sets necessary in business today, and how an MBA program can help you gain such skills and be successful in business? So we have a very esteemed panel today. Really happy to have our speakers, and I'll give a quick introduction about our speakers. Firstly, we have Professor Sanjeev Nikor, Program Chair of Analytics and Digital at SOIL. Uh, he's an accomplished senior management professional with over 35 years of experience in management consulting and IT industry. Mr. Nikor has experience of handling both domestic as well as global markets and has strong organizational skills in sales, marketing, strategy, and operations. Professor Nikor was the president of strategic initiatives at Mahindra. Previously, he'd also served as senior corporate VP and president at HCL for the Asia Pacific Middle East market. Professor Nikor is now focusing on mentoring startup, teaching, and heading the analytics and digital PGPM program at SOIL. So, welcome you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Vikrant.
Our second speaker is Mr. Mohammed Salman, who's the Director of Career Management Services at SOIL. As a director, he is responsible for building and nurturing strong corporate relationships for our SOIL B School. In this role, he carries the overall responsibility for campus placements, internship, student development, mentoring, and the leadership series of engagements with the corporate world. As a business leader with over 30 years of industry experience, he has led large organizations such as HCL and Pero Systems. He's also successfully led some niche IT organizations and some startups. So, Mr. Salman, it's a pleasure to have you. Finally, we have Mr. Manu Malhotra, who's the manager of cloud marketing at Adobe. Manu is a global digital marketing professional. He's passionate about marketing and leadership. In his current role at Adobe, he manages the digital advertising delivery for the EMEA customers and helps international brands scale and optimize internet advertising spend. As a passionate leader, he loves discussing business opportunities and technology-led internet marketing disruptions. He's a visiting faculty and distinguished speaker in marketing conferences in various institutes such as IIFT Delhi, Great Lakes, SOIL, Jaipuria Institute of Management, Fortune Institute of International Business, among many others. As a mentor to some very bright students from across top MBA institutes in India, he finds great joy in helping students make the right decisions and career choices. So, really happy to have you on board as well.
Thanks, Vikrant.
With that, I will now ask Professor Nikor to take this ahead.
Thank you, Vikrant. Good evening to all of you and welcome to this webinar. So first of all, I'm going to give you a little idea about why we have introduced this Tech MBA program at SOIL and what is the necessity for it. So first of all, as you all know, most organizations today are relying on digital technology to transform themselves. And this has become even more important after the pandemic. In fact, the big news all over is that pandemic has created a lot of digital transformation, not even what most CIOs intended to do or could do, right? So if pandemic is now the reality and going forward, most organizations are going to rely on digital technologies, then it is necessary that all managers or would-be managers I would say, potential managers, budding managers, like all of you should know what these digital technologies are and how they can be applied to business functions, they can be applied to business processes, and how they can enable change in the way that we work and the way that we can be more productive and effective, right? So we said, why not introduce some of these courses in the mainstream, postgraduate program that we have on business leadership, and increase the emphasis on teaching about, these digital subjects. And when we looked at the curriculum of many leading universities in the US, Europe, across the world, we found that the leading business schools have already started doing it. They've already started teaching subjects like artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, cybersecurity, cloud services at the MBA level. And these programs now are being called tech MBA programs because there is tech element being introduced in a conventional MBA program. Okay. So when we looked at the spectrum in India, we found that not many Indian institutes have done that. And whoever has done a little effort, but not a comprehensive effort like we have done now. We have been introducing digital and analytics in our normal BLP program, and we did 80 hours of digital courses last year along with analytic courses, and there is a certification by Microsoft. But we thought, why not make the scope much more significant? So that is why this year we launched a full-fledged Tech MBA program, which we are calling the Postgraduate Management Program in Analytics and Digital. Now, how is it different from other programs that we do at SOIL or any other place? So what we have said is that out of the 1400 hours that we teach, or which the student is supposed to contribute towards in the normal curriculum in the postgraduate business leadership program, out of that 300 will go in teaching core management subjects. So everybody should learn core management, right? That's anyway required. Another 300 will be devoted to teaching analytics courses, analytics subjects. And then another 300 will be dedicated this time to teaching digital programs, or digital courses, or digital platforms. Further 500 hours will be reserved for doing project work, doing simulation, doing case studies, doing boot camps with industry experts, because this program has to be aligned to industry and it has to be practitioner oriented rather than just be sort of classroom, case study, etc. It steps beyond the realm of a classroom, and we are going to give you a full-fledged lab which you can access. Through the lab, you can access every digital program of Microsoft. And you can have your own 2 to 3 hours every day to experiment on these platforms, learn at your pace. So at the end of the entire program, you are not only theoretically an expert, but also you become a practitioner, in some of the digital platforms, and say, hey, you can say at the end of your 1 year that, well, not only I'm a management graduate, but I'm also an artificial intelligence practitioner. This is a great skill to have in today's world where things are changing very rapidly. And from a job prospect, we did some research and we found that there's a much better pull, a much higher requirement for jobs for people who have dual skills. Not only conventional management skills, but they also have digital skills. And there's a premium for such skills, right? And of course, Salman will talk a little more in detail about the career prospects. But I would say that the career prospects are much better, not only from a short-term point of view, but also from a long-term point of view. So in terms of pedagogy, one more thing I want to emphasize that apart from the certification that you get from SOIL, you also get a certification from Microsoft on the digital courses that you undertake. So you get and Microsoft certification has a very high value because many enterprises use Microsoft today. Okay, and of course, it's not that you will only get exposure to the Microsoft platform. We also have a tie-up with AWS, Amazon Web Services, and we have tie-up with other technology providers. So overall, you get knowledge in business leadership, you get knowledge in analytics, you get knowledge in digital, and you are ready for the future, you know. And so therefore, that's the kind of scope this program gives you. It is a very intensive program, and the good thing is that with the intensive hands-on expertise that you develop with the help of Microsoft practitioners, with the help of some global faculty we have put together, we have a very elite advisory board from the industry. You will be ready to take on the job when you join the industry from day one, and that is where your digital reputation would have already got established, and you would have already picked up some of the 21st century skills, which are so important. Sorry, the light has gone out a little bit at my end. It will just come back in 2 minutes. We are having some power problems at my place. Okay. Yeah. I think it's better now. Yeah. Just one second. Yeah, I think it's better now. So some of the 20, like, for example, how to build your digital reputation, how to have digital visualization skills, how to have customer experience skills, because at the end of the day, it is the customer which is very important for most organizations today. And the customer cannot be managed through normal legacy channels. The customer today has to be managed through digital channels, as Manu will talk to you a little more in detail. So that is the sum and essence of this program. I will now leave the stage to Salman to talk a little bit about the career prospects. And then I think Manu will give you some idea from the industry perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjeev. Very good evening to all of you, and warm welcome to this session. I think Sanjeev has laid the ground perfectly in terms of explaining the rationale behind us going in for this program at SOIL. What does this program bring to you? What is the learning that is involved? And of course, the benefits that accrue. So I shall specifically focus on the connect of this program with industry, because as the introduction by Vikrant brought out, I am looking after corporate relations, which specifically includes career services, placements, internships, etc. So I have a feel of the market and the organizations that are hiring talent out of business schools like ours. So coming to the specifics, I think Sanjeev very nicely laid out the skills that, or he referred to the skills that a lot of organizations are looking for in the new digital world. And I shall elaborate a little bit more on those. So some of the, we've had, we are already, fairway into our placement season already. And we've already had a good feel of the fact that industry is now expecting students from business schools to not just have a basic understanding, but to also understand the application of some of these technologies and platforms and concepts. The digital way of doing business, as he referred to, is an entirely different way of looking at business altogether. So organizations are now expecting our students, or any students that they meet for that matter, to be able to look at the traditional job roles as well as the new job roles through this new perspective, which is what is the digital world and the world of data bringing to the roles that have always been there. So, if we are to look at roles like data analysts, business analysts, etc., the traditional business analyst, as we used to have it, has that kind of a role has also undergone a significant transformation. And what has happened is that a lot of understanding of data is expected out of the students who have opted for this kind of a career, because data has clearly become this common currency that organizations are using to gain insights into their businesses, into their clients, and also to build a competitive advantage for themselves. I mean, you would obviously be aware of the virtual data revolution that is underway, with huge volumes of data that each organization is gathering, the technology advances that are taking place, and the fact that all the business processes, all your traditional processes, your HR process, your finance process, every single part of it, your supply chain, everything is now being driven by these data-based models. So, we've already had roles in the current placement season covering areas like data strategy, data engineering, data management and governance, and also all of this put together. How does an organization or an enterprise move forward in a very fiercely competitive environment and gain a competitive advantage as well? So these are some of the things that have already come out very clearly. As I just said, new roles have emerged: the data scientist, the data analyst, the AI designer, for instance. This is another role that we are seeing quite a bit of these days. And the business analyst profile, or the product profile, which again we are seeing a lot of this year in terms of the job requirements that are coming to our campus from various organizations. All of these, the product manager, and I'll let possibly Manu talk in greater depth on it subsequently. But the product manager is also expected to understand very clearly all these transformations that are coming about on the basis of understanding data better and understanding the digital way of business much better. So we've had, all top organizations that have already come and recruited from us, including the likes of Infosys, Cognizant, KPMG, etc. All of them have, shared roles which basically demand a knowledge of these new areas that we are referring to over here, areas related to data, areas relating to digital strategy, digital business, etc. And so this is a clear trend. And therefore, even, for more traditional roles such as we used to have, or we still have in areas like human resources, finance, etc., there is such a strong underlying basis that they expect from areas like that both of us have just referred to, data and digital related, that those functions, even so if I'm to take an example in human resources, a simple function like talent acquisition, which is your recruitment team basically, the extent to which organizations now expect your TA person or talent acquisition person to understand data, past data, analysis of that data, what is it telling us in terms of the roles, the job skills, etc., the kind of talent that they are looking for. All of these are now very, very strictly driven by automation and data. And therefore, if you are to succeed as a management professional in this environment, understanding of these concepts becomes absolutely vital. So, I'll conclude my part of the discussion by saying that this course is something which will definitely help you enhance your knowledge, your competency, and your skills. Sanjeev just referred to, the significant hands-on experience you will get on live platforms from Microsoft, from Amazon, etc. And that is what organizations are now expecting and looking for. So with this, I'll wrap up, and Sanjeev, hereafter, if you could take over, please.
Yeah, I'll now ask Manu, who's our esteemed alumnus and a very successful career at Adobe, also the visiting faculty at SOIL, very passionate individual on digital and analytics, to talk a little bit about his own career and his own experiences and the need for digital at organizations at Adobe and similar to Adobe. Yeah.
Thanks, Sanjeev, and thanks, Salman. Probably you've shared everything that one needs to know when one is in a decision-making process of really looking at such a course, which enhances one's long-term career prospects. I'll add a little bit of flavor on my experience, and as Sanjeev alluded to, that I'm also a visiting faculty at SOIL. So, I am more of a corporate practitioner, right? And when I reflect on how truly things have changed in the last 5 years, let me scare you a bit, to our esteemed participants today. On the digital side, if I were to say, 5 to 7 years back, the practices and the processes that we had, we no longer have them, right? The way of operating models have changed altogether, right? And why that has changed is what I'm going to talk about. So if we have to, much has been said about, where does the business success lie? And everyone in different forms has said, you need to have a laser sharp focus on the customer, right? And today, when businesses really want to mean that, what does it come out, right? It comes out as the customer is across all screens of all sizes, right? You look at the billboards, they're reading information from the businesses there. You look at the televisions of multiple screen sizes again, right? They'll consume information there. Of course, across television, one would argue there are so many, inherent different channels within a TV, an OTT versus a linear TV that you consume information on. And that's not all, right? We have our pocket monsters, right? The mobile, the tablets of the world. And of course, all of us work on desktops and laptops still. So look at your customer who was just face to face either in your store earlier or just in the one screen is now all over the place. And if you could give me a chance to make it a little more complex, is across all these screens there are multiple channels, right? So on a mobile you can search on Google. At the same time, you can consume information across a website that shows you a display, or a YouTube shows you a compelling advertisement, right? Or our favorite Ganas of the world or Spotify of the world telling us what should we be doing next for our choices. So let's get back to the businesses, right? Businesses want to focus on the customer, and your dearest, most valuable customer is across these data channels, screens, platforms, all across. What a beautiful problem to solve. Now, when you look at the business side, when business wants to have a laser sharp focus on the customer and its journey, right from the start, those simplest of the funnels that we used to have, awareness to interest, desire, and action, that has got a new spin altogether. And when businesses want to focus on that customer throughout the journey, they need inherent skills that Sanjeev and Salman were alluding to. Businesses today need not only management business enthusiasts, but people with good appreciation for technical, digital, and analytic skills to make sense out of this humongous data. Because it's like, data everywhere, but what's the sense out of it, right? I don't want to have a disparate sources of data and really look at them in silos. For that data to make sense, first I need to, as a business, understand what is my customer doing and what is it demanding, right? So that's first thing that I need to do. And that's where the whole analytics piece comes in. But that's not where it stops. So of course, before that, you need to really have a good data strategy. What all you are capturing, what are the data lakes you are creating? And second, of course, is making sense of the data through analytics. And last but not the least, all of us want to take smart decisions basis that data insights, right? Because that's the end goal. And to make those insights, again, there is a play of machine learning, artificial intelligence. So, and I think Sanjeev, you did mention that, what we were anticipating in 2025, we have already seen that happening yesterday. It's like that, right? So from a career readiness, even I invest in learning so many of the things that we are discussing today, right? All of us practitioners are going through that. And what a fantastic platform for somebody to actually have this all laid out in a curriculum, completely exhaustive on the theory side, goes hand in hand on the project side, which is more of the application, and also giving it a real good flavor of the practical world that we live in, which is completely through some of the uh, uh, we talked about boot camps and those modules, which is an integrated module, how different functions come together and how do we actually solve the business problem. So that's where I'll kind of take a pause and share that my whole journey has been not different from what I shared with you. Today, though Vikrant did focus on what I do as an advertising professional, but in the last 1 year, happy to share, my team is more, or the work that I do is more inclined towards analytics and data today, right? So that's where I'll rest and probably hear any questions. And Sanjeev, over to you.
Thank you, Manu, for your excellent insights. And thank you, Salman, too. I think we have kind of given you a very good perspective, all of you attending the webinar. And I think what we are now ready for is a kind of a Q&A session, a discussion session, and we're ready for any questions from your side. Most of you would have seen our brochure, would have seen our course content, would have understood that we are trying to create an integrated curriculum where we are creating business skills, we are creating analytics skills, and we are creating digital skills, all the three competencies, which are so important today, as both Manu and Salman pointed out, in terms of making a successful career. These are not good to have, these are must to have today, And as Manu rightly said, it's 2025, fast forward it, So we are all ready for questions now. Vikrant, you can actually trigger the Q&A session if you think that's important. Hello.
Sure. There is one question which I see from Manish, who wants to know about the curriculum of the AD program, the PGPM AD program, considering that it is a new program.
Okay. Or let me try and answer that question. Okay. Um, so let me try and see if I can share my screen. Can you see my screen? Hello? Can you see
Yep,
my
we can
screen?
see
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes, Sanjeev.
Yeah. So I am just now showing you the curriculum. So this is the academic advisor board. As you can see that Manu is on the advisory board and Salman has just joined it. His photo is not here, but he's just joined it. So yeah. Yeah. So this is the curriculum of the program. So as you can see that we have the fundamental management courses, which is the management 101, which will be covered in term one. Then for the data analytics domain, we have all these statistical techniques, optimization techniques, software for analytics, business research methodology. And then in case of digital domain, we'll be having digital transformation, business innovation through digitalization, cloud computing, and a lot of in-depth courses on artificial intelligence and machine learning. Okay, in terms of concept, case studies, projects, etc. Then we have a social innovation program, which is the hallmark of Soil, um, and it's a kind of a 75-hour program where we go into some social organizations and look at what innovation we can do. Here we will be using digital and analytics to solve social problems. Then on the business analytics side, we have a lot of programs like big data, and we are covering all the latest platforms like Hadoop, Spark, Pig, analytics, HR analytics, which is a much needed skill today, logistics, supply chain analytics. So as you can see now, the application orientation has started. First was the fundamental part, and now we are seeing how analytics can be applied to different business functions, whether it is logistics, HR, finance, customer analytics, marketing, and how analytics can be applied to different industries, banking, retail, telecom, healthcare. And so that is where the digital analytics will start coming in. Then we go into a little more advanced digital applications like IoT platforms, Internet of Things, blockchain, and how it can be applied in supply chain. It can be applied in financial services, banking, automation, which includes your RPA, robotics process automation, augmented reality, virtual reality, societal impact of digitalization, cybersecurity, data privacy. Now we talk a lot about cybersecurity nowadays, and as you can say that if you are going to be in the social media, you should understand what is data privacy and how to deal with it. How do you create business innovation through digitalization, right? How do you create new businesses, right? And then, as we said, there's going to be a lot of integrated skills like design thinking. How do you build empathy with the clients, with the customers? So, customers need empathy to create new products, to solve their problems, right? So, we go through a series of workshops to understand how do you do design thinking. Yeah. And then we talk about some of the leadership courses, which programs which Soil is very, very well known for, which is your soil assessment, your individual learning plan, your ethics, your yoga, and then integrated learning we talked about. Consulting skills are so critical. Then simulation through capstone, strategy, how do you build strategy in an organization, change management, corporate strategy, some of the corporate management which now Manu is doing, for example, project management, entrepreneurial skills. And then we have industry leadership through all the boot camps, industry visits, projects, case competition. And then we have the Microsoft Intelligent Cloud Hub program, which encompasses some of the digital programs, but on the top of it, we'll give you 60,000 hours totally for the class of cloud application usage and industry projects and analytics. So this is the curriculum in a broad way. So I hope I'm able to answer your question. Hello.
Thanks a lot, Prasanth, for
Yeah.
we have a couple more coming in. Let me read one from the chat. It is from
Yeah.
Paritosh. He's saying, as this industry is new, how are the opportunities for someone passing out of a new program by soil? As this industry is still growing, there aren't many experts in the domain. I feel a lot of work in analytics and digital is like a shot in the dark. So I guess I think the bottom line is that I think it's the question of I think Paritosh is having some doubts about because the industry is new. So what are the opportunities of someone who will pass out of a new program which is in soil?
Yeah, I'll let actually Salman or Manu answer
I'll do that.
that.
I'll do
Maybe.
that, Sanjeev.
Yeah.
I'll just take this particular question. So while the, well, I don't know why you call the industry new. It's actually, the way of doing business is becoming new. Industry is the same corporates, the same companies, plus of course, a lot of new ones that are also coming up that are now hiring actively. As I said, when I spoke to you earlier, the roles that we are already seeing this year, these roles are very clearly pointing towards the fact that organizations are looking for these kind of skills, the skills that all three of us have spoken to you about. And while the program at SOIL may be new, but please do understand that we are now having our 12th batch of the one-year program, which is completing in April this year. And there's 1,000+ of our alumni who are very, very productively employed with some of the top companies, both in India and overseas. And therefore, this entire scenario is really not new. The SOIL program is well known. We were one of the first to introduce analytics. This was nearly 5 years ago. We were one of the first business schools to introduce analytics as a specialization. What is new here is that an entirely dedicated program for analytics and digital business has been created. And as our data and what we are seeing in the placement season this year indicates, there is a very significant requirement for these skills across all roles and across most industries. So therefore, you need not have any concerns about whether the fact that this will be, let's say, the first batch of this new program, whether that will hamper placement prospects. I'll say most certainly not. Vikrant?
Thanks. Thank you so much. Another question, which is, I believe, more would be relevant for you, is someone is asking, what are the placements for PGPM program this year, and what about anything for analytics batch? So I mean, I believe the person is wanting to ask if any placement particular to the analytics batch.
Most certainly. So our placement, season got underway late November this year. We were slightly delayed because a lot of the organizations were themselves delaying the start of their campus recruitment process because of COVID. We've all been faced with that scenario. We are now at a point where close to 33% of our batch is already placed. And based on the current processes which are going on, along with the hot pipeline that we have, which means companies that have already confirmed participation, we anticipate that we'll be crossing the 55-60% figure in the next couple of weeks or 3 weeks or so. So therefore, it is going along at a good pace. We are very confident that the entire batch, we shall be able to place it very, very effectively around late April, early part of May. That is the confidence we have. The second part of your question relates to the analytics batch. So the analytics batch has actually done the best this year in terms of the proportion or the number of students placed. So more than half of our analytics batch is now already placed, and there is already visibility for most of the remaining students, and the remaining students are close to 10 or 11. So there is very, very clear visibility for all of them. Some of them are already part of processes which are going on. And therefore, I would say, and part of it does have to do with what, we've been talking to you about during this hour. The skills that the analytics program is bringing to the table are precisely the skills that a lot of organizations are looking for. So that is why that part of the, this particular cohort has been doing better than the others. Vikrant?
Thank you. Thank you, answer. We have a question which is directed to Manu. So, attendees say a question to Manu, sir. How has analytics and study at Soil helped in Adobe? Adobe being a global reader, how relevant is the analytics curriculum? So I believe how relevant is the analytics curriculum of the PGPM AD program?
I think I'll answer it in two parts, thanks, Vikrant. One is, I think analytics has become more and more important last 5 to 7 years, and next 5 to 10 years it's going to be very, 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 very important, right? From good to have to must have, kind of we talked about. I'll talk about a little bit how soil learning that soil has helped me personally. This is very personal question, right? And hence I'll put it forward that this is completely personal to me when I answer it. I think the holistic understanding of the business that I've got has helped me look at things from a very holistic standpoint, right? I've always, first and foremost thing that I learned was, how aware I am about myself and the business that I'm part of, right? Am I completely mindful? Am I making choices in a complete uh, mindful manner, right? Do I have skin in the game? So I think those are aspects that have helped me a lot. And then how do I balance, right? We are all, look at the whole world is talking about sustainability now, sustainable solutions now, right? So I think back then in 2011, 12, that was fundamental thing that we had to understand while making choices. Am I making the right choices which are sustainable, right? And these cut across disciplines, right? Sustainable choices across, either you are in marketing function, HR function, from a business strategy perspective, you have to align to it, right? So and not just this, right? Look at the compassion side of thing. We are all talking about Black Lives Matter, and so many global movements, and I feel proud that I was sensitized to a more compassionate world. And I'm saying I'm answering this completely on my behalf. In 2011, 12, when I did, now this is diversity and inclusion, everything has become such a must have for organizations, right? But back then these were instituted as pillars, right? And of course the whole focus on ethics, we all know. So I think for me the holistic understanding across these has been phenomenal. And what I've picked up in last 5 years is definitely, in 2017 I did, on a personal front, I did some analytics certifications myself. I want to stay relevant. All of us want to stay relevant. Why won't we? Right? So I'm saying analytics is not a new thing. I will be a little bit in the phase that it's right now already running operational. Lot needs to be done, and all of us. This is definitely not new, and this is definitely very relevant from a business demand standpoint, right? So, and there is a whole gamut play of applications like Sanjeev talked about, which are primarily on IoT, AR, VR front, artificial intelligence, and of course on top of machine learning, how you can learn and then also make decisions basis AI. So there's a whole lot of play that is happening. And by the way, what if I told you that some of the content that you are exposed to today by businesses is already driven through all of this? So, so my dear friends, all of the emails that we receive today, they are taking a very simple example, by the way, just to make things relevant here. all of the emails that we receive from our e-commerce platforms of choice, do you think they are manually created? They understand where are we in the customer journey. A lot of analytics plays a role, and we are clubbed into certain segments, and those with those segments we are targeted, and that content is generated at the runtime through some applications, right? Nobody's manually creating them. And then we receive those messages. Sometimes we say, wow, fantastic. What a subject line. I had to open it. Huh? I had to click it. Oh my God. That kept me actually so it was so sticky and gripping. I ended up buying. Fantastic offer. So all of this, I mean, I, I just picked up that example to really share with you that it's not new. It's already happening. Much of it that we are exposed to today, there's a whole lot of play that we talked about already at the back end.
Yeah, and I'll just like to add that, the company which Manu is creating, I don't know how many of you know what the market capitalization of that company is. And Manu is completely, fully responsible for creating, helping in creating that market cap. Having moved the product, from a sort of a license model to a cloud services subscription model, Adobe achieved a major turnaround in their market cap. And today, I think market cap of Adobe must be, well, I don't know, 80, 100 billion, So how could all that magic be achieved? Simple. One of the reasons was changing the way the products were sold as a license, one-time license or a lifetime license, to a recurring cloud subscription model. Okay, so this is one example of how a digital transformation or a digital approach made a difference. By adopting a digital platform, Adobe increased its market value several times. Okay, by a factor of maybe 10x. Okay, so digital gives you that 10x advantage. All of us know how the digital giants are dominating the world today, whether it's Google or whether it is Adobe or whether it is Alphabet, or whether it is Microsoft, or whether it's Amazon, or whether it's Facebook, all of them rely so much on analytics, they rely so much on AI, and therefore understanding these subjects early on gives you that accelerated advantage. It's the time advantage. Do I gain 4 years in terms of my career, 5 years in terms of where I can reach? Yes, definitely. That's what this course gives you. It gives you that accelerated learning and a time advantage.
Thanks a lot, Manu and Professor Nikor. I believe we can take a couple more questions. A lot of these questions, which I'm also feeding, are coming as anonymous because I'm feeding from Facebook. So let's pick up one which says, hello, I read about the Microsoft partnership. Can you please elaborate?
Okay. So the way the Microsoft partnership works is that I mentioned to you that out of the 1400 hours of the curriculum, contact hours, 300 hours are dedicated to digital courses. Of the 300, 160 hours are delivered by Microsoft practitioners, Microsoft Learning Partner. These courses are essentially comprising of cloud, AI, machine learning, automation, blockchain, cybersecurity, data visualization. Okay. Now, there are 6-7 courses, and there is also a Microsoft platform or a virtual platform which is given to all students to access. So they can access it through the subscription to Azure, which Microsoft provides. Once you go into Azure, there are all kinds of platforms available which are related to Azure, like the Cognitive Toolkit or the RPA, the Power Automate, Power BI, and so many platforms, right? Now, you are able to experiment through these platforms. At the end, once the grading is done for each of the proficiency grading is done for each of these courses, Along with soil, there is a joint certification by Microsoft on the proficiency in each of these subjects. So this is how the Microsoft intervention happens. And this is the Microsoft play in the overall program. So while the Microsoft participation may appear to be only maybe 15 or 20%, but it's a very important element because Microsoft covers a span of all digital platforms which are relevant today. It tells you how to kind of solve any kind of analytic problem, whether it's predictive analytics or it's forensic analytics, it's looking at the stock market data, whatever. So it's a fairly comprehensive program, and this is part of the Microsoft's outreach to the education sector. And this is what they call the Intelligent Cloud Hub. Okay. So this is where the partnership with Microsoft Soil has, and this is all about the Microsoft, sort of partnership. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. There's one more question by Paritosh, who's saying there are some organizations and companies like I believe it means Coursera, offering part-time certifications on analytics and digital. So how does Soil compare to that?
So let me just quickly answer that. Many courses through Coursera, etc., are actually self-service courses. That means you do your own learning, and based on that, you give some exams, and then you get sort of certified. But here it is very different. Here it is the subject applied to a management function, or to a management process, or to a business process. And all the courses are taught by experienced trainers or faculty. And there are peer-to-peer learning. There is mentorship by industry experts. There is a comprehensive assessment through case studies, classwork, project work, and real-time experiential projects. So what you go through is a kind of a 360-degree approach to what we call in management, to problem solving, and to understanding how digital can be applied in different management situations and processes. Whereas Coursera is very specific to understanding a particular subject in a self-service mode, self-study mode. Okay. So it's I think like comparing a unidimension to a multi-dimension, comparing a single lane highway to a multi-lane highway. So what we have created is a multi-lane highway. Okay. And so therefore what we are creating is a MBA after the course that you go through, not just an expert in a particular area. So I hope I can explain. I hope you understand what I'm saying.
Sure. Thank you, Professor Nicole. We're almost close to time. Maybe I see only one more question, which is, I have some experience in digital marketing. How relevant is this course compared to PGPM business leadership? Would PGPM AD help my growth in other sectors if I ever wish to switch?
Maybe Manu can answer this. Yeah.
So let me tell you, very interesting thing. The whole understanding of ours around digital marketing is going to change, right? When we say, 5-7 years back, how did we understand digital marketing? It was primarily SEO, search engine marketing, display marketing, right? A little bit of content marketing. Now, across all of this, there's now a new layer of tech. There's a whole layer, because each of these channels might have humongous data. There's a whole layer of analytics, and then there is a whole layer of smart decision making, right, which is powered by machine learning and artificial intelligence. Now, in fact, today, if you look at how we create our web properties, right, Our web properties, by web properties, I mean the apps of the world that we are creating, which our customers download and interact with, or websites that we create, right? Or hybrid experiences across the stores that we create. Even all of these fall under digital marketing vertical now, because while designing these, you're looking at the customer journey. You're looking at how a customer should be doing rather than how ideally you would have in the legacy you would have thought of, right? So the whole if you look at the whole digital marketing spectrum, it is evolving. It has a lot more technical play. And when I say that, of course, so the short answer to your question is yes, it will definitely help. It will help. So for example, anyone, not just you, anyone who has a digital marketing understanding, that means you have that understanding how a need is evaluated, how a product or service is curated around that, and how do we take that to the customers, right? Through a digital marketing spectrum. And once you have this additional understanding, that opens up new doors of opportunities for your career as well.
Great. Thanks, Manu, for that. I believe we're slightly shooting over time, so at this point in time, I'd like to request our speakers to give us some final or parting words about maybe the ED program, or what they feel is the future of, or what is the learning of this session. Some final closure words to our attendees.
Yes, let me go first. My closure words are: go for it. This is not a new thing we are doing. There is a 12-year legacy of SOIL in terms of doing many new things in management education and making it more relevant for the industry. And having a strong industry partnership helps people to get onboarded faster. There is a much brighter future by taking such programs because these are more relevant and these will make you more competitive and ahead of time. So I think that would be my parting word. And I'll leave it to Salman and Manu to chip in with theirs. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjeev. I think you've said it all. I just want to add something which all of us have already stressed on, and I think Sanjeev referred to it earlier. These skills that we are talking about helping you develop through this program are not really nice to have anymore. These are must-have skills. These are must-have skills. That is how corporates are looking at it. That is how our recruiters are looking at it. We are, convinced, absolutely convinced that in the absence of these skills, your ability to be able to perform in the modern corporate environment is going to be limited. And that is why our strong suggestion is that you should go ahead with a program like this.
I'll keep it short. Make a conscious choice, go through the details of the curriculum, spend some time understanding how these are making sense to you in the long term, in the short term. We all strongly feel this will add value. Make a conscious choice, make an informed choice, and all the best.
Thank you so much, Manu. Thank you, Professor Nikor and Mr. Salman. I hope this was a great learning session for everyone. It was certainly very enjoyable by me. And we hope that we were able to answer the questions that all of you had. And this webinar will also be uploaded on our YouTube link and on our YouTube channel, sorry. So we will share the recording of this webinar with all of you, with all the attendees and the non-attendees. And so thanks a lot for giving us this time. Have a great week. Have a great weekend ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
See you around. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.